Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and this is a full moon reading for all the signs, one after another. Great news. I wanted to announce a new blog on my website. It's under the main menu, what they say. Go down. Some thoughts on the language of one. The language of one is the name of my company. And there is a person who is writing down thoughts. She is a subscriber, and I've worked with her for over 2 years. And she's going to start writing her experience. She's developed so much spiritually, and difficult times, went through nice times, and she's going to use her experience as the basis for the blog. And that will help explain the type of work that is done and how it develops. So go read that. I'll write it, since the YouTube channel will not allow me to put a link up because it's, I think they won't allow it because you're not supposed to advertise. But I will write the name and exactly how to find it in a message below the video. When you want to respond, if you'd like to engage, just write me, send me a message at readings@ChristelleMartinette.com, readings@ChristelleMartinette.com, and I'll add it up with the date, and there'll be a running blog as the messages come in. So from time to time, there will be things to read there. Then I'm going to do this reading using my picture postcards and a deck that I haven't used in YouTube yet. It's called the Elemental Tarot deck. Beautiful deck. And of course, I have my other Vera Sibilla cards and the runes here. So let's get started with Aries. Aries, let's see what's in the line, what's in store for you. I see you as being very busy, but busy in a sense that you're coming to completion. You are completing things. There is a sense of accomplishment, achievement. You're trying as best you can to finish projects that you have in the making before starting new. You're the one who's always starting new things, a trailblazer. But you are, in this period, making a point of finishing projects. Another thing is, it seems that you still have many emotional issues. Could be from all different fields, all different types of emotional issues. It could be romantic issues. It could be arguments with loved ones. It could be mourning. Anything that is emotional, you're trying to keep it at bay. You're trying to cover it up. It looks like you're not giving it the time it needs. This is what I'm seeing for you, Aries. Oh, there you are. Okay. What do I have here? I have Suspense by Charles Burton. I have here as well the, there you can see it, Flaming June, Sir Francis Layton, and probably you will know this, The Scream by Edvard Munch. Now, what am I getting here? There's a sort of, it is, you feel like the coming to completion of projects is going to allow you, you're thinking karmically. If I complete these cycles, if I complete the projects, then I will be, I'll be put up on a pedestal. I'll be rewarded. Things will work in my way. They'll turn out good for me. But there's an underlying fear here as to that. You're fearful of being judged, and you're fearful of not making it. You have this underlying thing. Well, if they don't like me, you want to be liked. There's generally the feeling that you have to put in your time because you deserve something. So there's sort of a give and take, and you want the scales to balance out in the end. But all in all, among this, there's this sensation that and as an Aries, you're saying, well, look, I'm not that keen on getting things done. So what if they don't like my work? So what if, I'm not evaluated positively? So what if I don't get the job promotion? But it would bring you ultimately to a place where you could easily fall in depression. Okay, so taking yourself away from society. These days, you have to keep in the loop, just keeping in the loop. I'm going to take some runes and see what they have to say. Okay, way up top here. Ewats Merkstave, we've got. Oh, Sohilo, beep, 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 beep. Boo, 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 boo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ewats Merkstave. They're telling me these days, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, be on the money, be on the mark. Concentrate. Difficult times, Lagos Merkstave. Difficult times in you trying to feel cool about things, whereas in truth, you're really suffering. You really are afraid of not being liked. You're afraid of not being evaluated positively. You're afraid that what you put in is not what you're going to get back. This is a fundamental flaw these days. Distinction. You can distinguish yourself in so many ways, and it doesn't necessarily have to hinge on what other people say to you. Nonetheless, there is a moment that it does take all of your energy, that sensation of what if they don't like me. You have to guard against that. But you're protected in the sense of ultimate success. So don't let the thinking pattern, the energy patterns, undermine your success, Aries. Because what I'm seeing is, especially these days, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, even the 8th of November is really a period where you shine. Of course, differently from other people, and you're in your own unique way. And there will be requests for you to maybe you could do this a little differently, but accept the criticism gracefully, Aries. I hope this was of help to you, and thank you all of my older subscribers for sticking with me, supporting me, and welcome to my new subscribers until we read together again. Aries. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Let me see what is in store for Taurus. I see you in a library. I see you looking at books. I see you looking at books at home. I see you looking and sniffing, actually, the books around people's friends' houses. There are certain particular things that you have to, that you need to study, or that people have suggested you study because there's either you're interested in getting a job, you have to go to an interview, or there is something that you need to learn in order for you to make a qualitative jump financially. This is what I'm getting. And there's also, it's a sort of, in the beginning you think of it as a necessary pill, but the more you think of it, the more you look at it, the more you like it, and you want to involve a close, significant others and inner circle of friends. Not family members. I don't see that as being family members, but you want someone, you just need to bounce off other people so that they're listening, so you have some kind of audience. It'll make it easier for you. But I don't see them as interested. The significant other, for those of you who have a significant other, yes, they are very interested because it's in their interests to help you progress. What do I've got? What do I have here? The 9 of Cups, ladies and gentlemen, the 9 of Cups. How good is that? This definitely is on the mark. And it would behoove you to do that studying. And of course, we can't force ourselves to do things that we don't want to do. But what do I have here? The 6 of Wands. I mean, Taurus, come on. It's announcing your success before you've even done anything. The Ace of Pentacles. This is the announcement of something coming your way. Now, the timing may not, of course it's not going to be, and I'm saying of course because I'm not seeing it as this period. When I say study, I really do see that you have to go through a certain practice. You have to go through a certain step. You have to do your homework. This is what I'm looking at. And these two mirroring each other, the Nine of Cups, what are they saying? It's almost as if the Ace of Pentacles were presented as a Wheel of Fortune, telling you it's raining. In Italian, they say it's raining on wet ground, you know, piove sul bagnato, meaning when it rains, it pours. You're on a roll. If you can get that initial push and start the ball rolling so you can, you know, you don't like what you have to study, it's all interesting in some way or another. Take it that way. But more than anything else is this beautiful Six of Wands. The beautiful Six of Wands, that all of the wands in these cards have salamanders around them, and primal, this very primal energy. The primal goal of winning for you is fundamental. It feeds your passion, Taurus. Let me take the runes and see what they have to add, what the casting has to add. What the cast has to add here. All right, it's telling me no, not in this period from 4 to 8 of November. It's not now that you win, that you get the job, that you. It is the time when you have to really, really study. You have to start being serious. You know that it's going to help you. You actually do appear to a bright state, and you have no doubt about that. And Berkana Merkstave tells us that this is a qualifying phase. This is the necessary step where you have to go through the motions of preparing for something. Both Keenats and Peridrot are really one next to the other, and it's telling me, Taurus, that you absolutely know, and if it's a necessary pill, you will do it. Even those who hate to read will do it. I'm seeing, however, that yes, it's going to require you to stay fixed at home when you would like to go out. Sometimes you really want to put the energy in, but you're forcing yourself. I'm not, it is not easy for you, Lagos Merkstave, and you know that the road to success is always a rocky road, but success it is, Sohilo, at the top of the cast. So it's success, it is for you, Taurus. What I'm seeing is a lot of effort being put in, but you know in your heart of hearts, at the bottom of your heart, you know that you can do it, that you can put in that energy. I hope this was of help to you, Taurus, and thank you for sticking with me, my old subscribers, and welcome to my new subscribers. Until we read together again, Taurus. Now let's go on to Gemini. Gemini, I see you at, where do I see you? I see you at sort of, first I wanted to say, at a factory, inside a factory, but it's at the top of the stairs. It's at the top of a flight of stairs. And on the bottom, yeah, what you're looking down at looks like a factory floor where there's a lot of noise and machine, and you're hearing that. But you're not in a position of supervising any kind of work. You're sort of looking in, peeking in to see what kind of work that they're doing and trying to think, well, I could remedy all that. I can really take myself away from the drudge of having to do that kind of work. And I could make a name for myself in a different way, you're thinking. And I do have the card here. The last is this expectations and idleness. You're waiting. You're just looking. And you're not doing anything. You're on the outside looking in. But there is here a winding road. There you go, a turning road that is telling you, well, look, you can be idle, but your mind will go around and around, but it stays in one place. Fundamentally, Gemini, it's full circle here. This is the Circles by Kandinsky. You come full circle in the notion that I know I'm in a good place. Gemini, you're saying to yourself, I know I'm in a good place. But just for the sake of argument, for my peace of mind, let me make sure that I shouldn't be doing something else. And so your mind wanders and you go and you think and you dream. A lot of dreaming these days, especially the 4th to the 8th November. Gemini, there's a lot of dreaming and thinking. Is this the proper way for me to go? Am I supposed to be doing this? And every time you wake up, you think, oh my God, these dreams are so odd. But you're once again reaffirmed that, yes, I'm doing the right thing. I am in the right place, Gemini. Now, I'm going to take the rooms, but there's something else to say. There's also this idleness with expectation, mirroring the turning road. And it's sort of the perspective that, yes, I'm not going to do any fancy footwork, Gemini. I'm not going to do any fancy footwork. I will wait and see. But boy, am I curious. That's what I was looking for, the word curiosity. But there is the expression, curiosity killed the cat. But I'm okay with the notion that circles are there by Kandinsky, because fundamentally you'll fall on your feet. 9 lives like a cat. And there's something else here, Gemini. There's something else. There's a family member involved that you are attached to, that may be having a rough patch. I feel it as being not that older. I mean, it is an older person in relation to you, but not decrepit. Not really on the down slide of life. And this is in the back of your mind. This is probably why. This is one of the reasons why you're thinking about yourself and your life in review and what am I doing. But you are occupied with a bit of worry in relation to that. I see it as a family member or someone who has meant family to you. They're going through a rough patch and you're concerned about that, Cancer. Let's see. I have this. I'm going to have to change rings here. I'll do that now because it's undermining my rune casting here. My rune cast. Okay. Look, I have beautiful. It is. Look. There is, of course, a necessary give and take. There's a necessary moment of interaction. You have to interact with others, and this is a time where you may not want to, but the runes are saying that it's fundamental that you do interact because they will teach you a lot about yourself. Do not avoid that, and take your time, because time is of the essence these days, and time is flowing out of your hands. You feel like time is coming out of those fingers. The idea of round and round it goes, where it stops nobody knows, where it stops nobody knows. The idea of life keeps emerging in your mind and thinking, are we part of centrifugal force where we're pushed away from each other, or should we in our life strive to come together? We are one after all. And this idea of push and pull is going to be upper on your mind these days. And basically the notion that you will be coming full circle, and you'll be coming back to where you ultimately were, but enriched from the conversation with a loved one, is essential. And remember that, Gemini. I hope this was of help to you. Thank you, my older subscribers, for your support, and welcome new subscribers to this channel. Until we read together again, namaste. Hello, Cancer. It's Christelle Martinette, and now it's your turn for the full moon reading from the 4th to the 8th. Where do I see you? What do I see you? Cancer, I see you at a car wash. I see you at a car wash, and there's part of you that is looking and managing. I see that as a management position. But then there's part of you that is in the car, actually, and trying to be in the shoes of people the ultimate customer, and those around you. what they see the car wash as. And I think that this is a metaphor for spiritual cleansing and jumping, getting one, development to a higher level. There definitely is an idea, the notion of wanting to be at the core of something. I see it as a family, being the core at at the family level. You wanting to bring members back together, irrespective of whether there are separations, divorces, or what. You want to claim your rightful role as the glue of the family. Right? This is how you are thinking. Let me turn this. I keep forgetting. And beautiful cards here. Beautiful, beautiful cards here. And they're all cups. And that's what it's all about. This is the Eight of Cups. Now, you see these souls falling from grace. And the Eight of Cups is a card here, and I'll tell you more about that because it's mirroring the Five. This is the Three of Cups, and this is the focus of what you desire these 3-4 days with the new moon cycle, with the full moon cycle, because you want to take up your rightful place as a person who brings things together. You know that it's not going to be the same, and it's nothing that has to do with nostalgia or melancholy here. This is just that you want to have people remember you as the person who did their best to bring things together, the language of one. We are one. This is what we must remember, irrespective of the fact that everyone goes their way and has their certain individuality. Well, there's this Five of Cups. Oops, there you go, the Five of Cups. And this Five of Cups is also telling me that mirroring the Eight, that you have had your hand in the developments over the years of how the family got together, split apart, and some of you may have some family members dear to your heart, say children or siblings, brothers, sisters, who are living in another country, living abroad, and you miss them so dearly. And on the one hand, you think, well, the time has passed. I should have taken advantage more. So there's a little bit of, thinking, beginning to feel the regrets. But I'm not seeing this period as a negative period. I'm seeing it as the idea, Cancer, for you to bring things together, be an active force, which is lovely to see because this has not been like this for a while for you. Now, what I'm going to do is take the runes here, but I want to pull out a card here, one of these picture postcards, because there's something that I think is missing. Okay, all right. No, it's confirmed. This is Mary Cassatt, the Cup of Tea. And you see this fairy at the end of the plant there, and it's inviting us to look at the painting in a different way. Is she reading tea leaves? Is she drinking tea? What is she thinking here? And this is what I'm seeing as in this spread. It is confirming to me that indeed there is I don't want to call it nostalgia or melancholy, but it's reverie. There it is. It's reverie that you're going through. Remembering in a positive, not, no rose-colored glasses, but realistically, and then trying and your best to see where you can most spend your energies to bring the family together again. Yeah, mixed bag here. Definitely you are the ones. You're feeling that you have been the cause for many people to move away from you, and that's why you want the exchange again with these family members at a very important level. It's going to bring you actually abundance in love. This is going to work positively in your favor. As time goes on, this is just the initial incubation period of that idea. It's not necessarily that people are going to come back. This is the beginning of a process for you, Cancer. And I see that in Berkana, bright state, and it's a perfect Lagos bright state. It's the perfect role for you to have. Ultimately, then there will be success for you in that role if you're able to dig deep down inside you and to understand why you're doing it. Thank you for listening in, Cancer, and I thank all of my older subscribers for their support, and my new subscribers, welcome to this new channel, this YouTube channel. Now, let me go on to Leo. Leo, I see you as in the middle of a large beach, sandy beach. And although there are many, many people around you, you don't see them. It's sort of as if you're in a haze, a cloud type. You're dressed in white, the pants white, whether you're a man or a woman. I see you in white clothing, cotton, smooth, and it's very wispy, very comfortable, and there's a very slight breeze. And you're looking out. You don't move your face one iota from the horizon there, over the water, and you look out as if you're expecting something to come in, as if you see that there might be an answer for you out there. A lot of dreamlike energy around you this period, Leo. Let's see what these cards have to say to you. Wow, interesting. All right, this is the study of the Seine. This is Paul Signac. And the Shamia at dusk, this is Greece, the Isle of Crete, sorry. And it's the second largest city in the Isle of Crete at dusk. And you notice, the first thing we notice is the empty bench. And this is, look how beautiful that is, Peacock by Thoburn. Before I go on, this is Leo, very, very emblematic that it has come out. It's royalty, it's vision, it's spirituality. The peacock has so many meanings. There's guidance here, protection, watchfulness. What I saw on the beach, you watching, as if you're expecting the ship to come in. You can see that maybe I could put it here. Okay, the feathers of the peacock has something that looks like they have eyes. And they were thought in Greek and Roman mythology to be the eyes of the stars. And in Hinduism, the peacock represents patience and kindness. And so when I saw you out there looking, it's as if you're being watchful and you're expecting your role to be significant in helping the people around you and the energies around you to stabilize. This study at the Seine, impressionistic painting, is also having to, they're telling me that it's not necessarily the idea, Leo, of you wanting to come home or creating a home or no, this is an altruistic exercise, an altruistic energy that I'm feeling for you, Leo. You want the role of the protector, being watchful, giving guidance. You want to have that patience and bestow kindness. And very interesting here to see is Shamya at dusk, because the chair is empty. And it seems that your role, your new role, this idea of you wanting to step in to your path, into your light, that's what it is. You stepping in still is not realistic to you. It's still not, it doesn't have a clear outline for you. It's if you're still in the process of trying to understand what it's all about. But you're steadfast and your feet are planted in the sand. You're not moving. Okay, Leo. Yes, very important. The runes are telling me that even though you don't know where this will lead you, it's fundamental that you go through these motions, have that attitude more or less, because that is what's going to bring you to your goal, whatever that may be. You're protected in this period, this full moon period. And after the full moon, in time, you will see the relevance for what you're feeling and what you're experiencing now. But it's a fundamental period, the 4 days, 4 or 5 days, this full moon period, that you need to stay put. Keep your feet planted in the sand, and don't heed those others around you that say, come on, let's go. You have a mission. You're on a mission, and this is ultimately bring you joy. Leo, I hope this was of help to you. Thank you so much for listening in, and older subscribers for supporting me, and new subscribers, welcome to this channel. Now let's go on to Virgo. Virgo, what do I see here? Virgos, for this full moon period, I see that I always tend to see the Virgoans out there alone. And this is not any different. I do say when there is some kind of pairing, oh, you're going to meet somebody, oh, you have met somebody, oh, that's significant. But I see you fundamentally in a reasoning pattern that makes you feel that you're constantly alone. And you know for a fact that there are neighbors, there are friends, there are so many people that come through your door, and your immediate family as well, and friends if you have immediate family. But what I see is that the sensation you are feeling now in this full moon period, Virgo, is that you are alone. And many of you, not all of you, a good part, not half of you, but a good part of you are thinking that perhaps if you concentrate on your work, on your livelihood, on your hobbies, that will make you feel less alone. Let's take a look at what the cards tell us here. Okay, I'm going to take a picture postcard over this one. All right, I have the 8 of Swords. You see that there is a woman sitting, and usually the 8 of Swords in tarot decks represents a woman with swords all around her, and these are fairies dancing. There's the other world, the invisible world around her. But she is on a pedestal. It's far different. There is meditation. It's not movement per se represented in the picture of this card, the 8 of Swords, but there is action, differently from tarot, the other universal tarots. Now I have the Knight of Pentacles. Look at this. The Knight of Pentacles, usually we call this a slow knight, and it is indeed a slow knight, and such a slow, in the sense that, look, the horse has sort of an armor on him as well, and they cannot run with armor on them, so it is a slower, but it is a workhorse. It is a workhorse, a horse that carries. And this is the Virgo spirit that I'm seeing here. And the last is the 3 of Cups. And it is definitely, they're telling you that it is through your work that you will arise again from your ashes. It's constantly, you get the impression that you're always dying and being birthed again. Dying and being, born again. And there is a certain amount of truth in this, but there is it's not necessarily a death. It's a necessary ending to one cycle and then beginning another cycle. And I'm seeing that these 4 days will offer you the opportunity to see yourself in a cycle that is starting again. And in that, it is a positive period for you, Virgo. Okay, let's see what these, good. Now, let me start with the most difficult time, the Virgo spirit here. I have 30 sats, Merkstave, and 30 sats is one of those runes that comes down like an axe, and it tells you, okay, you must do this. You are bound to do this. You have to do this. This is a necessary passage for you. All right, and that is the work element, and that our answer is right there. It is through the spiritual nature, the spirituality that your work can afford you, that release, spiritual release that your work can give you, if you can find it, that will help you most in this period. I have also here Awat's Merkstave, and indeed it's over the Eight of Swords. It does tell you that it's a moment where just don't think of traveling off to the other side of the world, or even a weekend holiday or anything like that. Try to stay as put as you can. Stay still as still as you can, because this is a period, 3, 4, 5 days around this full moon, Virgo, where you need to gather your energies in order for you to to reap the benefits. Reaping the benefits, because it's through the benefits that after the period you will be able to, they say in Italian, cantare vittoria, singing praise, singing victory, and the end is yours. You'll be successful if you're able to go through this time and through this rite of passage, I'm going to call it, Virgo. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Virgo friends. I hope this was of help to you. And thank you all my older subscribers for following me and sticking with me. And welcome to my new subscribers until we read together again. Bye-bye. Hi, Libra. This is your turn for a reading for the full moon period, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, Libra. And I have you, you know, those sort of bean bags, they're called. I think it must have been sort of an invention of the 60s, this big round bag with all beans in it that acts as a chair. They've come around, I've seen them around here and there. And I see you moving and playing on this bean bag with little consistency. You know, the chair in itself is making you go all which way. And it's a joyride for you. It's sort of a play time for you in that beanbag, because you have to then return after this period to a more stricter way of conducting your life, your work, your relations with other people. And so you're taking this time out, not so much to play. It's not that I'm seeing. It's sort of to take on a different, not perspective, but to take on a different shape, actual shape. You want to see how you would be if you were different, if you had this shape, if the things around you had that shape. You're trying to think outside of the box a little bit, so then when you go back into the box, you feel a little replenished, Libra. Let's take a look at what these cards have to say. Okay, now the first card that has come up for you is the Cornell Farm by Edward Hicks, and this is in Pennsylvania. Farms. This is the end of the 19th century. Well, the end of the 19th century. This is an Indian summer view. So September, late September. There was the farm. It was actually a farm called the Farm and Stock of James Cornell, and it was in Northampton, Bucks County in Pennsylvania. And if the most important part is that you see there's sort of like a stage, and these animals, the livestock, are on the front of the stage, and this is the backdrop. It almost looks fake. Well, it's a picture, but you may not be able to see it. There are people in this valley here, in the Green Valley, all dressed well, that are walking, and it looks like they're actors in a different stage and in a different time. And here I have the angel at the old Lynchburg, Virginia hospital, Angel of Grief it's called, and this lovely golden period by Klimt, The Kiss, that we probably know of. And I'm getting here that that beanbag that I saw was a respite, was relaxation from this situation. You'll be going back to that situation after the full moon period, Libra. And what I'm seeing here is that you're trying to cope with for many of you, there has been a separation from a loved one. Okay, now this can take the form of a separation of an actually living partner, separation in some way. Either they are no longer with you, or you have split up from them. And you're trying to deal with that in the best way you can, the beanbag, okay, and not wanting to drown your sorrows in work. You don't want to do that. So this is your way of trying to deal with that. And these 4 days here, 4 or 5 days of the full moon period, is going to see you in trying to test your boundaries, not pushing the envelope, not risking anything new, but testing your boundaries. What about if I go this far? What will that make me feel? If I withdraw, how will I feel, you know? And you do dream of a love like no other. You do dream of someone that will understand you and that you can understand. Even if you are partnered, your mind still wanders and dreams about that, because you want and hope that there will be that moment of full understanding without even needing to speak between you. Let's cast the runes. What do I have here? I've got the Therisats is really telling me, well, look, wake up. You know, Libra, that not wake up, but you remember you're going to have to go back to that job, back into, get off that beanbag. And you know that, but you don't want to think of that right now. You don't want to think of that right now. You would like to have some good spiritual conversations even with the invisible world, because I am getting that there is a person that's missing from your life, either because they have passed or because they are no longer with you because you've separated. But there is a loss that you're dealing with, and you have to necessarily go through it in your way, in your own personal way. If it means sitting on that beanbag and rolling around, then so be it. But it's a moment where you're going to have to take that situation and grab it, and shake it and try to face it the best you can. There's no way out of this is Watts Bernkstedt. There's no way out of going around the situation. You're going to have to face that head on. Beanbag, so be it. Thank you for joining me, Libra, and I'd like to thank my old supporters, my old subscribers, for sticking around, and the new subscribers, welcome to this channel. Now, let's go to Scorpio. Scorpio, what am I seeing you? I'm seeing you with apples. I'm seeing apples around you. You're looking at them and almost, thinking, I know an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but I don't feel like eating that apple, I know what's good for me, but I don't feel like doing that. And there's sort of a bit of transgression in your mind, a transgression even in the sense, well, mostly in the sense of, I'm not going to work today. I'm just going to do something off the charts, something that's not characteristic of me, not that people recognize in me. And so there's this idea, this sort of rebellious nature. No apples for me. Just give me the kumquat or the passion fruit, That's what you're thinking, Scorpio. And whether rain or shine outside, you're sort of nestled in your home. You're happy, or something similar to your home that is of comfort to you, and you're happy with that. You're happy being there and trying to find the best fruit for you in this period of time. Let's see what's in store for you, what the cards are saying. Okay, I have these same, this came out for another reading, the Knight of Pentacles. It's a knight, it's a slow knight because the horse has armor as well, and so it can't run and climb. So this is, this has to do with earth energy, of course, or an earth sign in your life, somebody who is meaningful for you, to you in some way. But I'm seeing it more as a work ethic. How can I do something that's not characteristic for me and get away with it? You know, no apples. Just give me the passion fruit. Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords here does talk usually in Universal Tarot decks of regrets, but I'm seeing this as something different. I'm seeing you as testing the boundaries to your very essence. How far can I go without losing the fundamental nature of my personality, of who I am, my beliefs, my fundamental ethics, you know, and morals? And those will be tested. You're not going to push the envelope. Like I said, there's no risking here. It's just a matter in your mind, like this yes, this no, I don't want that. It's sort of battling yourself with yourself to get to a place where you can be a little rebellious with respect to your norm. And the High Priestess here. Interesting High Priestess. There is the High Priestess with an invisible presence there. And the High Priestess, as we know, is the moon, you know, this full moon. And the full moon here is knighting with the Knight of Pentacles. And I'm seeing that as a waxing and waning. You're thinking, and why you're in this place of trying to find apple, no, passion fruit, yes, kumquat, yes, and trying to be a little rebellious has to do with your day in and day out status as a worker, as a person who's responsible in relation to others, and you just want to do something bad. You know, you want to get something, you've earned your money, you've done your, you know, good deeds, all now you want to live it up a little bit. But like I said, I see you as being home. You may be going out, but in your mind, you're in your home. You're in your mind, your comfort, in the comfort of your home. And so I see that an apple's okay. No, I'll have the kumquat or I'll have the passion fruit just as long as I feel like I'm getting some respite from my normal, everyday, responsible Scorpio self. See what the... Ooh, all coming out, flying out here. Yes, there's definitely, I do see you more in the home, more an ecstatic nature. If you're not home, you're in one place for these coming up days, because there's something that is being created in a very personal way, in a very, very individual Scorpio-like way. You're distinguishing yourself in this period with a new idea. Many of you I see are trying to find a new money-making idea. Many of you are thinking of a loophole, finding a loophole in one of the older patterns of your working patterns, and trying to create something new and different with regards to the past. I don't believe that you fully understand what it's going to be, but the idea, the fundamental notion, Scorpio, is that you do want to create something new, and you're hoping that it's going to come to you from that passion fruit, from the kumquat, you know, from going outside of the box a bit. And again, you know, the idea of you not knowing exactly what's going to come out about it is spoken with quite screaming cries here with the runes. You do want to do something, but you don't exactly know what it is that's going to come out. It's just the process, it's the tension that you're experiencing these days with respect to your normal day in and day out atmosphere, environment that you want to rebel against. But there is an element of novelty that is created in these 4 or 5 days, Scorpio. Thank you, Scorpio, for joining in and for supporting me, those older subscribers, and welcome to the newer subscribers. Let's see, until we read together again, Scorpio. Let's go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I see you as the proud father of a family. I see you as the head of your working environment. I see you as a leader in some way, a leader of a family, a leader of a work unit, a leader of a shift, a leader of a group of people in some way, either for leisure or for work, a leader in some way, a forerunner, a dynamic person who has brought something new, an element of novelty in a group, and people look up to you, people admire you, people think they'd like to be with you in this period of time. You're finding a creative element in many of the things that you do, and you're giving it another spin, you know, the Sagittarian spin on what you're doing, which is very interesting to see, Sagittarius. Let's take a look at what these okay. I have the Five of Swords. Now look at the Five of Swords, how that is. This is a different take on the Five of Swords. Usually the Five of Swords in Universal Tarot decks talk of regrets. I'm seeing here a determination to block a pattern, that had spiraled into something that you were unhappy with. Here I have the Seven of Wands. That has been, you see in the hair, all of the wands have sort of salamanders. Very interesting, because they're earthy type, they're passionate, they get into the true meat of things. And here the 5 and 7, they're never cards that are easy to deal with, but they are cards that go right into the core of issues, Sagittarius. And I'm here seeing the Death card. Now, if that ain't the truth, I mean, that is something that is going to, the 5 and the 7 are moving toward a complete revamping of you, of your very being. Now look, there is going to be a change, fundamental change for you, and it comes through the added elements that you provide in your working environment for that group of people that you are leading. There's something that you add that will ultimately bring you to the end of the cycle that you're in now, and a promotion it will be, or something new, a job change, but similar in the same environment, but doing something different. But you will be saying goodbye to one thing and opening another. I'm going to take another card here. Okay. Now, this is the young woman reading a book of hours. Ambrosia Spencer, the Book of Hours is a religious book, and how odd that I see you as a leader, Sagittarius, and that leadership is born of study and preparation. And ultimately, when these two play out, the 5 and the 7, and you are pushed to the end of one cycle, it is because of your preparation. Make no mistake, Sagittarius, the change that will be coming about, will that be beginning in this 4 or 5 day period, is truly based on your specialization, on your preparation, on you, what you have done, your research, the type of work that you've done in the past, and you merit the change. Let me take a bunch of runes here. All right, yes, yes, yes. There is this, you don't actually see it coming, Pedro Merkstead. You don't see it coming. In one sense, you don't see the promotion, the change coming. In another sense, you do actually understand that where you are now is a stepping stone, but you didn't expect the change so quickly. And you're working without a net, Ajit Merkstave. You are not expecting what is going to be coming your way. But forward you will be moving, both with Awats and Raido. Forward you will be moving, and it will be to a position that requires you to do more specific research, more specific detail in what you're specialized in, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me, Sagittarius, and I hope this was of help for you for this full moon period. Now, and welcome to my new subscribers. Now let's go on to Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn. Capricorn, I see you as man or woman, I see you have cloak and this flaming purple hair, Crudelia Demone, you know, and you're sitting atop standing atop a hill with black leather boots and a whip. You looking down at your fellow man and your reign. You feel that you are like a queen, but you know that you're not a queen. Again, male or female, the idea is reigning over something. You do reign over something. In your mind, you are a queen, and you want to remain the queen, even if you have your feet firmly planted in the ground, Capricorn. Your very essence, your soul, is regal. Let's not forget that, Capricorn. Even if you like to get on your knees and work in the garden and, you know, trim things here and there, you're really made of regal stuff. Let me see what the cards here have to add to that. And those around you have to deal with that. Those around you will just have to accept that you are a queen, and that they will get better on with you. They'll understand to interact with you better if they can accept that. Okay, now I've got this lovely, lovely work, the gate, with the poultry. And the gate is always an image that is ambiguous, because we don't know if we're in looking out or out looking in. But because of the poultry, we get the idea that generally we're on the inside looking out. But even the poultry want to go out. They're near the gate. So there's an idea here of escapism with that cloak, Crudelia Demone, on that hill with that whip, black leather boots. And here we have the portrait of Giovanni Arnolfini with his wife. It's the Arnolfini wedding, actually. You can see that she's pregnant. This was a well-to-do family. It was supposed to represent richness, wealth. And there is a facade here, of course, and you know that you are part of that in your life. You know that you work in, say, an employment agency. You work with, you can be working in a factory, an employment agency. You can be working in a pizzeria. You could be delivering pizzas. You can be the head of your office, the manager of a multi-million-dollar company. But whatever it is, you know that it's just one part. That's just one part of it. And you are right on the verge of wanting to leave. And there's that feeling. I'm saying necessary because that is what is pushing you forward. There's that necessary push to want to leave. And who do we have here? We've got The Scream by Edvard Munch, and this is quite famous, and this is a sensation of loss. You know, you're fearing loss. And what better place to play out all of those fantasies than in that high above on the hill with your whip and leather boots. Even if it's only in your mind you're thinking. But there is an element of truth that these 4 days will be coming to you, because you're thinking there's got to be a loophole, there's got to be a way for me to leave this drudgery that I'm experiencing as drudgery, no matter how good the job is, no matter how much money you make. There's something that has to give, and I want to find it. And what is it that is going to give? It's not going to be easy, Lagos Merkstave. Of course, it's not going to be easy to go forward, but forward you will be going, because you do want to go forward. There's an element of time involved, and an element of exchanging ideas with other people. Again, I remember for you, Capricorn, I have always said that the loved one was going to finance some kind of initiative for you. And I still feel that for many of you that is the case, but you're shying away from that. You don't want any handouts, and you know that fundamentally you do have to move forward. There's an element of fear, but the fear will shortly bring to joy, because you're going to find that that facade that you have does bear its fruits. It does give you money. It does give you stability. It does give you the possibility of even dreaming that you're on a hill with those boots and a whip, and that you could possibly fill a different kind of role. So let's not, in Italian they say, spit in the plate that I eat. I can't remember what it is in English.
bite the hands that feeds me. Don't do that. Let's not do that. But just wait for your turn and wait for your time until you come to terms with who may be possibly helping you, because there are other people involved in the decision for you to break free and be on your own, economically and financially and on a business-like sense. I do see that for you coming in future. Okay, Capricorn, thank you for joining me, and welcome. Thank you to my older subscribers for sticking it out and supporting me, and welcome to my newer subscribers, Capricorn. Now let's go on to Aquarius. Aquarius, I'm seeing you between walls. There are two walls, you know, the handball walls or racquetball, those high walls. I see you between two of them, not in a room, but there's just two. So there's the front is open and the back is open, and you feel that sometimes you have a racket, sometimes you have a tool, sometimes you have a ball, but basically you're bouncing from one wall to the other. And I vaguely remember seeing this for you another time, where you were caught between a rock and a hard place in terms of the people around you, in terms of either your relatives or friends and loved ones, and there was a bit of uncertainty as to where you wanted to proceed, how to proceed, where to go ultimately. But I see that this is going to give way, not exactly in this period, but it will come to a head, the 4, 5, 6, 7th, and 8th. It will come to a head, the notion of where exactly it is that you intend to be in the near future. You're going to understand that in this period. The Eight of Cups here, the Eight of Cups is showing me, you see people, souls that are falling off the cliff, jumping off the cliff actually. And this is something that this is telling me that you're wanting to walk away from something. Generally walk away, I mean literally walk away. And I have here the Lovers, and the Lovers, there is a bond. All right, there is a bond, and we know that. There's a bond, there's someone that you feel bonded to, and there is someone that is in your mind, in your life, in your thoughts. More than anything, they're in your thoughts. And I have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords are, look at the books up there, literally all the books. And the Six of Swords in a universal context of tarot would be moving to a different place, as if souls were being transported elsewhere. I see this as the mind, Aquarius. This is excellent, an excellent card for you. I would call this the Aquarian card, because this is you and your many facets and your many different roles that you have in your mind. And it is ultimately you bouncing off yourself intellectually in terms of where you ultimately want to go. Now, the glitch of the system here, this glitch of the situation is this card here, because in tarot decks this implies a decision. I don't see it here as a decision. Yes, for you yourself, but you're not put against the wall with your shoulders up against the wall to make that decision. But you are thinking that you're being called to action in relation to a loved one or a person who is not even in your life, but who you think of. It's a mind, not a mind game, but it's actually a mind reality. It's a mind reality because you are thinking, well, do I want to continue with this mind reality? Is this something that I can ultimately see as something practical in my life? And there, it doesn't necessarily call you to action, as I said, but you will not. I don't see you as making a decision, but you do toss it around and around and around and around, even though there is that will to want to leave something. And this is not necessarily a loved one. I see this as being a place where you are generally now. You do want to leave where you are now. Where to go? That is the question mark. That's the question mark. I mean, we'll have to look into that probably in our next reading. But let's see if these runes will tell us something about that. Okay, it's general. All right, you know. All right, let's say that. Pedro Brightstave and Isa will tell us that you actually no, there's a moment where you have to go. You will have to be moving, and it's not necessarily a decision that you want to make, and it's not going to help you to make that decision. The idea that you don't want to make it, but make it you must, and because you can no longer stay where you are. This is what I'm hearing, and it's obviously a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone. But the issue most at stake and most difficult for you, Aquarius, is that Lagos Merkstave, very difficult situation in relation to that other person. And Otala, bright stave, that person is the key for you, however, in terms of how you depict your joy in future, how you draw yourself in a future reality. Well, thank you, Aquarius, for sticking with me. The old subscribers that are still here, thank you for your support. And the new subscribers, welcome to my channel. Hope you enjoy the readings. And now let's go on to the sign of Pisces. Pisces, what am I seeing for you, Pisces? I'm seeing I see you in a pumpkin patch, but as if you're still stuck in Halloween period. The gowls and the ghosts and the spirits, and you're still playing with the nether world, as they say. You think on the one hand that sticks and stones will break my bones, but they can never hurt me. And that is contrasted against what you feel is your work day, your bright day, not the night, the day, during the day. You're contrasting one against the other. And there's this dichotomy, there's sort of this tension between that world and the other world. I'm wondering what that's all about, Pisces. Let's see if I could get yeah. All right, now, the first card I get for you, Pisces, is the Cornell Farm by Hicks. It's in Pennsylvania. This is James Cornell Farm in Northampton County, Bucks County in Pennsylvania. And you can see that it looks like a backdrop. There's a stage here where the animals, the livestock are, and you can't see it perhaps, but there's this patch of greenery where people are walking, all dressed very, very well. And it looks like it's, fake, but it's a painting, but it almost looks fake. And then we have Gustav Klimt's The Kiss in his golden period. I'm sure many of you know this. And here is Kandinsky's Circles. Okay, well, there is the dichotomy. There is the dichotomy of the front, the actual stage, if we want to call it, the mask that you're wearing and you have to wear. And your dream world where you enact things that you would never even speak about during your waking days. And this could play out in many different ways. You could be working in an institution, you could be working at a post office, for example, but then, your evenings, you have another hobby, or you have another job, actually, which would be, could be reading cards, could be working on a hotline for drug addicts or something. So there's this dark side that you don't want other people to know. It's not a dark side now. It is maybe the light that you're walking in, but it is in relation to this. It is that side of your nature that you don't want other people to see or to know about, because it wouldn't work well, and it wouldn't, they would see you differently, Pisces. But there is something interesting to do with this kiss here. And it's as if you could see, we have here the woman is turning her face and offering her cheek. And it's telling me that there's something to do with your day job that is just not right. Okay, this is a general reading. Of course, it may not apply to everyone, but there is something there that you're unsatisfied with. But what are the circles all about? Why don't we take the Vera Sibilla here, ladies and gentlemen, Pisces, and really get a better look at what it is that they're saying to us, Pisces. Yes, that's mirroring the job, the day job. And I have here Amalato, the ill one, Consolante sorpresa, the consoling surprised, and Constance. And there is dissatisfaction with this job. I'm going to take the runes after this, but first of all, let me also see the farm, the farm in Pennsylvania. Okay, yes, definitely. There's a lot of dissatisfaction. Okay, jealousy, it's not necessarily jealousy, but it is sadness nonetheless. The thief that speaks to negative change, and mercante, the merchant here. There is definitely dissatisfaction with the work area. Part of your livelihood or one of your jobs that you just don't want. You can't, I mean, you don't have any intention of leaving. I don't see that, Pisces, but you're dissatisfied with it and you're trying to find your niche. You want to find something, you want to find your kiss. You want to find your area that you can carve out into that place and make yourself known for a specific specialization or specific job that you're doing. You're not quite sure how it's going to play out. I have Keenat's Merkstave, but yes, working with others is the key, ladies and gentlemen. Don't tell anyone, Ansus Merkstave, don't talk to other people that much about your plans. They're telling you. And it's a risk. Yes, you're taking risks every step of the way, Pisces. But I see this ultimately as success. The more you get on that dance floor and dance and have others step on your feet or you step on other people's feet or putting yourself out there for evaluation, it's always there'll be criticism, but it will turn into your favor and success is ultimately yours. These 4 days is not where the success is going to come in, but is where you're starting to understand that these are the dynamics that you're going to be going through and that necessarily have to be gone through. I hope this was of help to you, Pisces, and thank you for joining me. And older subscribers, I really appreciate your support. And new subscribers, welcome to this channel. Until we see each other again, bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.